It's my point. A woman who likes you will yap your ears off. So trust me, any man will pick the mother-in-law. Because if it's just yapping, they've already experienced it.
Why not the boss though?
Because you cannot ignore your boss.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Tech Room podcast. I'm your host, Audrey Maina, and it's been a while, but we are ready for a new content, exciting guests, amazing insights, and I'll let our guest introduce himself.
All right, thank you so much, Audrey. Hi, my name is Saruni Maina, and I'm an associate vice president at Flutterwave, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So let's get to who you are.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Another difficult one. I've actually done a couple of articles around this because it's a question I get a lot. So maybe I'll just take you back a bit. I graduated from African Nazarene University. I did a course that a lot of people consider to be very useless. Exactly. It's something that you'll see online, guys saying, "Oh, BBT is one of the most useless courses." Yeah. And fair enough, I get it because you don't really grasp both the business side and the technical side. It's not IT in this case; it's actually computer science, right? Because you do computer science and business courses.
Really?
And yeah.
Okay.
And because you don't go in depth into both. You really come out as this person who understands both a bit, but you're not really exactly. So you're almost like a jack of all trades. And it's up to you as an individual to decide, do I want to go the computer science way or do I want to go the business side way? Yeah. So for me, I tried the computer science way a bit. Yeah. I used to code in C#. And it was exciting at that time. I think the most exciting thing I ever did was I decided to create my own browser, my own web browser. For what reason, I have no idea.
To give Google some competition.
There's no way I was gonna ever launch it. Honestly, I think it was good practice anyway.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons I actually quit coding. Sorry for another day, but that browser really kicked my ass. Pardon my language. So those kind of cool projects. But then I quickly realized that I wasn't patient enough to be a software developer because I hate feeling stupid. And one of the things that software developers will attest to is a lot of times you're going to feel stupid, right? You know your craft, you know exactly what you're doing, but there's just that one bug that will not budge. And that makes you feel dumb because you realize it was a semicolon that wasn't supposed to be there, or you just, something small, literally, And I ended up quitting in terms of being a dev completely. And I went into media.
Interesting.
Very, very huge switch. I have no idea even how I found myself there. But I went into tech media specifically. So I was just telling stories I would say like you are, telling stories of tech personalities, startups within the African space, specifically Kenya. And then I quickly realized that as much as I loved what I was doing, I was broke. So my motivation to switch back to tech was because the people around me, my friends who are all in tech, everyone we were doing things with, they were now joining international companies. They were at Microsoft and the likes, earning good money.
Buying
and I'm just there. I'm just there like, wow, okay, what am I doing? So I went back into tech. This time I went back through product. So I was a product designer. And then I did that for a short while. And then I switched into, I wouldn't really call it product management, but it was some aspect of product management, but within business. So I was put in charge of a project whereby the company I used to work for at that time, we needed to build a ticketing platform within the app really quick. So I was the product manager for that, and I ended up just doing that B2B side of business. And it was a fintech product. Once I joined the B2B side of business, I've actually never looked back. So up until today, where I'm at Flutterwave, it's still B2B. Right now, I'm tasked with, building a revenue within the crypto space. So seeing how we can play within the crypto space in a regulatory positive way, not making any regulators angry, ensuring that as much as you are touching crypto is in the right way.
Yeah. Okay. So let's dive into fintech.
Yep.
We have a lot of solutions in the fintech space across Africa, and I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
I did some little stalking. I'm seeing you're all over Africa. So what are like the big innovations that are in the space right now? Crypto included.
Okay. The most interesting thing is that when it comes to fintech, Kenya really stands out. And I think as Kenyans, we really downplay the giant that M-Pesa is, right?
Yeah.
We could have conversations around, sometimes it doesn't work, it's too expensive. But that's a story for mostly every other fintech application, right? Today, as a Kenyan, if I was to send you money, I can easily go to my M-Pesa application and send you those funds to your bank.
Yes.
And you'll get it right away, right?
Yes, yeah.
And the vice versa is true. A lot of countries, you actually cannot do that. Mobile money and banks don't talk to each other at all.
Yeah.
And I know we've had this for quite a number of years. So it's not one of those innovations that hit us as, oh my God, we can actually do this.
It's become a normal thing.
Yes, it's a normal thing to us.
Yeah.
But whenever you meet other people, they're like, this is a marvel. What do you mean you can make payments from your phone?
Yeah.
I can buy tickets. I can literally go to government websites and pay for registration, pay for whatever documents that I need. And all of that is processed, right? Through mobile money and various other options.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a marvel. But we tend to downplay it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that even M-Pesa didn't really pick up in majority of African countries, especially the giants that we thought, the likes of Nigeria, South Africa, didn't really pick up. But because in those countries, they had other innovations that preceded, the M-Pesa age.
Yeah.
For them, especially in Nigeria, bank transfers work exactly like M-Pesa does. You pay Mama Mboga with
your
bank.
From bank to
exactly, bank to bank.
Okay.
And it's instant. And that works for them very well. And that's actually what CBK was trying to introduce in Kenya the other day before Safaricom and our dear friends, PesaLink.
Wakaua your dream, wakasema.
Well, I hope hawajaua, but suddenly they decided they can now work together.
Because getting a lot of money from a transaction costs.
And that was my point, I remember I was very loud being, online, which was, I was going against the wave because everyone was saying, oh, this is so good, PesaLink and M-Pesa finally can collaborate, we can get things done. And I was like, guys, shut up. They could have done this so many years ago.
Yeah.
They decided not to. They decided to make our lives difficult. It's so expensive. And then now suddenly when CBK says, we want to build our own, they're like, no, you don't need to. We can now work together.
We have the systems.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if CBK does it, it's going to be free. And that's the thing they don't want. Yes, we want money movement to be free.
Yes.
That's why my voice was, CBK, please ignore these players. You build your own, make it free. It will actually create more innovation.
Yeah.
Because if money movement is now free, we will literally get away from the grasp of M-Pesa. Sorry to say, but right now every fintech being brought about in Kenya is riding on M-Pesa.
Yes.
And that's why you'll see people being very loud and saying we don't need another fintech. Because everyone feels like, okay, you're all doing with M-Pesa, so we're fine.
Yeah.
But the moment we have our own instant payment system by the central bank, then real innovation can now be seen.
We can start there.
Exactly. Yes. But back to your question, I know we digressed a bit. I think the most interesting innovation I've seen now, it's not particularly a particular app, but it's the use of stablecoins for remittance. And I know this, for people who know the space, this sounds like something that's been repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But if you've ever tried to send money, even between African countries, you know that it's not an easy thing. I've tried sending money a couple of times from Kenya to South Africa, and it's always a challenge. Unless I use these fintech apps that people are saying we've had enough of fintech apps. But they're the only ones that work. If I try from my bank, it doesn't work.
It's not going to work.
Sending money from abroad if you're receiving money from the US to Kenya, and someone sends you that money on Friday, you're going to get it on Tuesday or Wednesday the following week.
Yeah, which is
again, why in this day and age?
Yeah.
If I can send a WhatsApp message instantly, why is my money taking 3-4 days for it to arrive?
Yeah.
Right? And now there's these new neo-banking apps, these new fintech apps that are coming up for remittance. And what essentially they're doing is that they are receiving funds from the sender, if it's dollars, converting that into stable coins, and mostly it's the USD-backed stable coins, and then sending those stable coins over
to the receiver.
And then using other, so it can either work two ways. If the receiver is a crypto native person, they understand, they could receive the stable coins and they're good. They'll know how to off-ramp it and withdraw it. If they're not, then you actually have other services who will help you, or rather will provide the service of receiving the crypto and paying out the equivalent of it in local currency. So you might receive from, let's say, for example, an app like Revolut in the UK. You might receive money from the UK, from Revolut. It arrives into your M-Pesa. But you don't know that through that route, potentially, Revolut has actually used stable coins.
Yeah.
So that's the most exciting thing for me, because it's reduced the cost, it's reduced the time, and it's a practical use of crypto. Yep.
I think people hear cryptocurrency and then they're like, it looks like something scamming, because people are coming up with new cryptocurrencies every day, and they keep going up and down. There's no surety. But so what is the security for stable coins? Like, how assured am I that the money I'm sending haitafika kesho ikwe sijui Trump alisema sijui nini bei imeshuka?
I think crypto is generally very volatile, right? It's affected by a lot of things, including what you said. Trump anaweza make a statement and the price of crypto just changes. It goes up or goes down. And I understand the skepticism that people have towards crypto, and it's mostly because of how it was introduced to the masses. You know, at the birth of crypto, there was a lot of push of, this is how to make money. This is how to get rich, you know. There was not a lot of push for utility.
Like, this is a currency you can use to pay.
Exactly. It was, this is how you put your money into crypto, you become rich because the value will keep going up. And a lot of people got very, very rich from it. And it's one of the things I regret not doing, honestly. You know, I wish I'd jumped into that bandwagon and bought some Bitcoin and maybe
in 2009.
Exactly, ningekuwa nimeretire somewhere in Diani. But it is what it is. So a lot of people got into crypto because they thought, this is a get rich quick scheme. You know, we have even local cases where a pastor decided that they're going to launch their own crypto called Nuru Coin because kuna Nuru Gizani. And they essentially scammed people, right?
That's
the only explanation why they call it Nuru Coin and you're a pastor. Put two and two together. But so at the end of it all, there's been a lot of these scams where someone launches a coin, says, hey, buy early. Once the value goes up, sell it. Essentially a pyramid scheme. And they end up making lots and lots of money. Millions and billions of dollars have been made through this kind of scams. And then there's this other side now of utility, and that's where the stable coins actually come in, right? Because they are backed by physical, actual, tangible assets. Whereby if you are launching a stable coin, there needs to be verified assets of the same value. So if you're saying this stable coin, there's $10 million worth of stable coins of Saruni coin, for example. Let's say it's my stable coin. I need to show that I have $10 million, or if it's Kenya backed, 10 million Kenya shillings of it, either in Kenya shillings form or in bonds or in certain other assets that can be liquidated to actually bring out this money. It's not me creating a random coin and saying, this is the value of the coin. And then the purpose of stable coins is to tokenize actual money. So that's why it's 1-for-1 for the dollar. And if it's a Kenya shilling stablecoin, it's 1-for-1 for the Kenya shilling. The only difference is, in this case, we are making it easy to move around these funds without relying on banking rails, which have proven to be unreliable.
Okay. So I think we should just change the narrative from it being a way to be rich to how you can use it on your day-to-day. Because stable coins, I don't think it's something a lot of people are aware about, especially in Kenya, because M-Pesa works, M-Pesa Global works. You can move money from bank to bank, so you're like, what's the point?
Very true.
But just people being sensitized and knowing, that's why we're here. So you've said about how people always saying, fintech solutions, we've created too many apps and whatever. What are like the challenges that someone can go through when trying to get a solution? Not only in Kenya, but say Africa in general.
The number one challenge is regulation. Because
our government.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with people's funds, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be regulated. You cannot
Definitely.
come and say that I'm going to create my fintech and I don't want to follow the banking guidelines or the central bank regulations of whichever country.
Yeah.
Because people have to be protected, and there's anti-money laundering laws, sanctions against certain individuals, against certain countries, and there's all those international rules that have to be followed. And one of the biggest challenges that whenever you're in fintech you quickly realize is that you have to play by these rules as much as you're trying to disrupt the same system that has put in these rules. And that's why a lot of fintechs quickly end up becoming almost like banks. Now, when a fintech is starting, they'll even say, oh, you don't need to register, you can just send money. And then they quickly realize, we can't do that.
No,
because
you need
the
to
central bank will
register.
come and ask you, who's this person sending money? Right? And you need to give documentation
Documents,
of why this person is sending funds. And governments always want to know where this money coming from, where is it going, and the purpose of
and how is
all.
it's being used.
Exactly. And fair, we can have arguments against, that the government shouldn't know these things, or we could have arguments also for it, because we are saying we really don't want it to be misused. So, it could be corruption money, it could be terrorism funds. So there's arguments for both sides. But one of the biggest challenges is that, and what makes it even more difficult is how different and diverse regulations are
across the country.
Exactly. So speaking of Africa, let's just look at Africa itself. You find that the regulation between Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda very different. So if you want to launch a fintech app in these three countries, you have to play by the rules of these three countries.
So you customize it for different countries. You can't use the same.
If you're getting licensed, you have to get licensed all these three countries. Yet there's EAC that exists.
Oh yeah. East Africa Commission.
Yes.
Which can just come up
why
with
can't
a general
EAC
regulation.
Provide one license that says, okay, if you're licensed by EAC, you can operate in all East Africa Community countries.
Which would help everyone.
But we're getting there anyway, because the other day Rwanda and Ghana launched what they call license porting. So if you're a fintech and you are licensed in Rwanda, you can operate in Ghana freely. If you're a fintech licensed in Ghana, you can operate in Rwanda freely.
That's nice.
So it's setting a good precedence because it means that other regulators will now see, okay, we trust this other regulator. So if they say that this fintech is good, we'll believe them and take them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's also tricky. Governments really need to have like relationships.
Yes, the two governments or whichever governments that are actually trying to port these licenses need to ensure that the requirements are met both sides, like it's something very uniform and very similar.
Okay.
But it's changing now. As much as it's a huge challenge, we are seeing developments. So I'm happy to say that at least that is not becoming too much of a challenge now. And also the space has matured enough that fintechs understand that before you start launching, you need to at least get a license or at least a letter of no objection or use the license of someone already licensed, all of those. But then again, on the other end, the other bigger challenge is fraud.
Yeah.
So you launch a fintech app, you're happy, you have customers, and there's this cheeky mulot boys somewhere who've decided, we are going to use your platform to scam people. And that always tarnishes your name, you lose a lot of funds. A lot of fintechs don't even talk about how much they lose.
Yeah.
So much money in millions of dollars is lost. And that goes unreported because the fintechs just be like, we'll just cover that with our losses.
Because you can't go to the public and be like, to make biwa, so which means we are not secure.
Exactly. So you choose your battle, whether to report or to just take the hit.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So if someone is thinking of starting a startup, you'd say they should start with regulation first. They should guess the developers first.
I think an easier way is to at least first test your product, right? And it's not just in fintech. Just first test your product before you start investing in other things, because regulation is very, very expensive. There is legal fees, there's fees for the license itself, there's structures that need to be in place. No regulator is going to give you a license if you don't have an office.
Yeah.
So all of that costs money if you don't have a certain number of employees, right? All of that costs money. So it's always easy to have a defined path to getting regulated.
Before you get to...
Yes. So start, of course, with your product. So the engineers definitely have to be the first thing. Build the product, test the product. And then, once you're ready to go public, now you can go with, let's say, for example, a partner who will cover you with their license. Before you grow to the point of you say, now I need my own license. And this is in the fintech space, or maybe any other regulated. I don't know how the other regulated entities work, but for fintech, it's easy for you to go to a bank and approach them and tell them, okay, this is what I'm doing remittance, this is my app. If we could ride on your license, on your remittance license, and cover us, let's say for 1 year, as we build on this product, and then we'll now approach the CBK with data.
Yes.
Showing them this is what we've been doing, this is the data, this is how secure our app is, so can we get our own license?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. So most of our audience are young people. And of course, we like to think of ourselves as young millionaires in the making. Yeah. The millions are not here yet.
But they're coming.
You can see them from afar, they're coming. So how would you advise someone? Because now, like you said, Bifanya BBIT, which someone would be like, why? So how is someone who wants to is already in the tech space and is trying to navigate it, or they're trying to get in maybe from the media side, from the business side, how should they go about it, getting into it?
Wow. I think we tend to downplay the aspect of luck in success, right?
Yes.
I could sit here and say, "Ni God," quote unquote.
What's ni God?
or I could say that I worked hard. I put in the hours. But
10,000 hours.
Yes, but we really tend to downplay luck. And I think I would say for me there was a lot of aspect of luck because at my onset, one of the things that really pushed me back into tech was because I would essentially call them a stranger that I had just interacted with on social media, agreed to become a referral.
Really?
In the company they were working.
Okay.
Someone that I used to admire on social media, I'd be like, oh yeah, I would really like to be like this guy. And we had never met. And I just approached him and I was like, hey, I'm applying for this role. I'd really be happy if you just referred me internally. And they did. And that opened doors for me. Okay. And through this one person, I've gotten to meet so many other people who have also opened many other doors for me as well. Yeah. And so I think there's also the aspect of kujituma, for sure.
Definitely.
Even if you are lucky, Ajay, if you're not sending yourself, if you're not putting in the work, then you'll never ever have that success. So if you're in any other field looking to get into tech, identify which areas the skills that you have can be transferred into. For me, it was easy for me to get into product design because when I was in media, I used to do a lot of design work, even for the blog that we were writing for.
The posters.
Exactly, yes. So there was a lot of design work already that I was conversant with. So it was easy for me to just port that and bring it into this other side of product design. So one of the easier ways to actually switch careers, and not just in tech, is to identify your transferable skills and what these transferable skills can be used in the career that you're aspiring to be. So if you want to be a software engineer, and let's say, for example, you're a writer, it's also a very good start. Yeah. Because you already have the aspect of writing, you can even become a technical writer.
Yeah.
So there's exactly, and writing documentation and everything. There's always places to start. Okay. So identifying that really helps you in navigating into this new career space, especially when you're coming into tech.
Yeah. So we usually play a game.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know if my people come on a game.
First question. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
150 years.
10 minutes.
What? 10 minutes is like...
150 years, I won't exist anymore.
But still, I just love to see, do aliens come? Do robots take over?
How does that affect your life now?
No, it's just curiosity.
No,
but
10 minutes could
10
be,
minutes from
could be
now.
the difference between you living and dying. 10 minutes could be the difference between you finding your soulmate and not, or finding a heartbreak. 10 minutes could be the difference between you getting the new job
You see?
and not.
You see, the thing is, 10 minutes from now, we could just be seated here again.
No, 10 minutes from now, you could know if Bitcoin is going to rise or fall. That can make you a millionaire now.
I'd like to change my
No, you cannot.
I'd like to
We're
change
talking about 50 years. You tell us about dinosaurs if they'll come back.
Okay.
The next one, I'm assuming both of you have watched Wonder Woman and Captain America.
Yes.
Yeah. So would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain America?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Why?
She's a lady.
I understand where you would.
Oh, you're asking me why?
Yeah.
I love Captain America, but it's called what? How do you say wowed by Wonder Woman without saying wowed?
And is it Wonder Woman or is it the person who plays Wonder Woman?
Both. Both. Anyway, yeah. Have you seen the new Captain America movie?
No, I haven't.
I'm planning to go and see it too. It's
So it might change your mind.
especially it's Anthony, so we don't know. Uh-huh.
The next one. Would you rather lose your sight or your memories? God forbid none. Oh well, if you do.
Gun to my head.
Sight or memories?
Yeah.
Sight.
Why?
Because
Memories.
with memories, you can still lead a life, you can earn a living. Right now, there is so many visual aids. So even if you don't have
But
eyes,
it's never too late to start over.
you don't have memories. So
like I'll start from now, and
with zero memories,
it's okay. I'm seeing.
how
I can
are
see.
you going to do your job?
I can see.
How are you going to be in this podcast?
You see, these things you can
How are you
learn.
going to answer that question?
But you see, you can always learn these things.
Nah.
Because
You've lost.
No.
You see, remember, you're not getting any younger.
Yes.
You've lost all your memories. Is there a guarantee the memories will stick after this?
No.
You'll keep losing them.
Yeah.
So you're a cabbage, potato. You might as well be chips and we eat you.
But with sight and all it's called what? With all my senses and everything, I can start from scratch and get shit done. How long will it take for me to learn stuff?
6 months.
Exactly.
No,
That's
for the
us
person
living
without
from
sight,
there.
6 months.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes. 6 months and you're good. You in 6 months, you're still trying to learn your own name.
no.
Because you're an adult
But
who
how
doesn't have
dumb was
memories.
I?
No, now you're dumb.
My brain still works. I just don't have memories though.
So you're dumb.
Next question.
Second last question. Would you rather have Beyonce's talent or Jay-Z's business mind?
Business mind for me.
I knew you'd say that.
Me too.
I'd rather have
Because I'm a practical person. What talent?
Talent will give you the spotlight. It won't make you that much money. If you're not business minded, you won't turn your
But
talent into money making.
Because maybe you could say there's a lot of people with Beyonce's kind of talent out here.
Yes,
You've
and they're not as
never
rich.
seen them. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But with a business mind like Jay-Z, you
know
make
how to
billions out here.
He stopped rapping and he's still one of the richest people.
mind.
Yeah. And apparently he's even paying his wife for being his wife. You see,
Oh my God.
you can do anything.
Now the last question. What's your talent?
Hmm?
What's your talent?
Yapping.
Can you yap for 10 seconds straight?
10 seconds is child's play.
Okay. 5 minutes straight.
10.
Okay, 10 minutes?
Even 20.
You must be.
Yapping about what exactly?
Anything and everything.
Just give you one word, you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so you're a yapper, yeah? What's your
I
talent?
don't have any talent. Imagine, honestly, I don't have any talent.
No, talking about Beyonce.
Imagine, anakataa Beyonce and
But then growing up, you see these people, you can see someone is a dancer, they can sing, they can do it. I can't sing for shit. Dancing, I can move to the rhythm, but I'm not exactly a dancer.
You are.
I can't draw. I'm a dancer. Oh,
maybe you have a talent, it's just not that it hasn't been nurtured.
I've not even discovered, or let alone nurturing it, I've not discovered it yet.
Okay, fair.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so
Another question.
we go to the next one. Before we move, I'd like the professional yapper to yap for, let's say, 5 minutes straight. I'm going to give you a word. And I want you to yap.
No. Hold up. Wait a minute.
You promised.
You're a yapper.
Well, when the circumstances are right. We've been yapping for a couple of minutes now. So that is my evidence.
You're exhausted. Okay.
Okay, since anti-yapper amekata, next time.
For sure. Need it without any topic. Just sit me down and say talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about our government? Go.
No, don't even give me that topic. Just say talk. Alafu nipotee. Hey.
Sema alitoka kwa ofisi zetu na hajaimuona tena.
The next question. Would you rather work an overtime shift with your annoying boss or spend a full day with your mother-in-law? Annoying mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law.
I don't have an annoying boss or an annoying mother-in-law.
Either way.
If I was to choose.
If I was to pick also mother-in-law.
Me, I'd go with boss.
Hey, me too.
Because mother-in-law, mother-in-law, I care about what you think about me, and I live with your son.
Someone is in my ear.
Yes.
The whole time.
My boss, I can disregard you and be like, she's just annoying. It's none of my business.
Clearly, none of you have dated women before.
Obviously. Yeah.
Women don't shut up.
So either way.
Says
So,
the rapper. Says the
no.
rapper.
Here's my point. A woman who likes you will yap your ears off. So trust me, any man will pick the mother-in-law. Because if it's just yapping, they've already experienced it.
Why not the boss though?
Because you cannot ignore your boss.
You can though.
No, you cannot. You need that. You need them to see you as a nice person. Imagine
It
at
gets
home,
to a point.
your mother-in-law is just talking. Just say, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was nice.
But
You don't really have to pay
annoying.
attention.
Maybe they don't even like you.
It doesn't matter. You can figure it out.
Okay.
They can't get rid of you. Their family. Your boss can get rid of you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to change my answer.
Your talent is changing your mind.
The last one. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life, or give up internet for the rest of your life?
Air conditioning.
Watu hapa watu umesweat kweli kweli.
There's people who live places that they're like 35 degrees every day and they survive.
Thank you. I'm very okay.
I'd also give up air conditioning.
Because you can't give
Your
up
body will
internet.
adapt.
Yeah.
Plus,
Survival.
I can search how to cool myself without air conditioning.
Or go to the internet, get innovations on how to cool yourself that is not air
Or
conditioning.
how to build the air conditioning.
Yeah, so yeah.
Thank you so much for participating in my game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So how's the session?
It was nice. I think very enjoyable. Time well spent.
It was nice having you.
Thank you so much.
We definitely want to see you again.
Okay, for sure. I'll be looking out for a second invite.
Okay.
We can have a different topic.
Definitely, and we can do more of the games, or we can just have you yap all the
Oh,
time.
that too. Yeah, I could have a solo session.
I don't
love
need
that.
to be here. We just give you.
You know,
the
I used to
camera.
want to be a news anchor. I might practice that.
It would be a good opportunity. Anyway, thank you for coming.
Asante sana for having me.
So, guys, this is the end of our episode. Yes, this is Saruni Maina.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Hope you enjoyed.
Ah.
Yeah.